Well, folks, a little more sort in this particular group, in my opinion. I tell kids all the time that showmanship isn't about who's first to get to the right spot, but it is a timed event, and we compete in lots of timed events in this world, and this is one where I think um, getting to your spot a little quicker, being a little more adept at getting your legs set faster and keeping the right kind of look more consistently is something that probably sorts this group here. I'll encourage you, if you're doing too much banging on your sheep, you need to quit that. If you're going to hit them on top of the hip, which is fine, let's use a closed hand where we don't hear all the noise instead of an open hand with a big pop. If you're moving them, a little bit of encouragement in the side as opposed to punching them in the back probably is a more ideal way for us to handle that situation. There's some kids out here that for me are close calls in this particular heat, but when I go grab them or touch them, we're not getting enough brace out of them. They may look good standing there, but as you come in and touch, the reason a guy's or a lady's going to bend over and handle is they want to feel muscle tone and texture and where they're at. And frankly, we've missed that with some of these that are here. As again, in the rest of the heats, congratulate these as we excuse them. Got a couple to come back here as finalists.
Callbacks for our third heat of seniors, Lily Bowman from Montgomery and Clara Elsey from Russell. As we're getting ready for our senior drive, if you are in the first heat of intermediate showmanship, you can make your way to the ready area. Intermediate heat 1, please check in. Our judge today for the 2025 State Fair Virginia Youth Sheep Shows is Glenn Martin of Mason, Texas. Glenn grew up in Mason where his family roots date back to the 1860s. He attended Texas A&M and was an accomplished collegiate meat and livestock evaluator. He's married to Ray Ann and they've raised 4 daughters through the ranching lifestyle. The Martin family raises competitive show goats, cattle, and Dorper sheep. Glenn has evaluated both breeding and market shows in 30 states, including numerous state fairs, National Western, Fort Worth, Houston, Louisville, and the American Royal. He spends countless hours helping youth excel in the livestock world through clinics, seminars, and his Bracing for Success camps. Glenn is always into promoting agriculture and educating others about the animal industry. Let's give a warm Virginia welcome to our judge today, Mr. Glenn Martin.
Well, incredibly competitive set out here, and young people that have all been doing a lot of things right. And one thing for sure, being raised in the barn's a great place to be, and I appreciate all the effort that we've seen in these young people that we have in the ring thus far today. I want you to notice we got 10 young ladies. We've got that one boy down there. He's an outlier for me, and I think he did lose his sheep after I pulled him in his heat, and he's got some things he can do better. But in terms of moving one around the ring, he probably does as nice a job as anybody at getting his moved. Maybe outside of the young lady here that wins, she's for me just spot on today in terms of flow, movement, ability to move at the proper pace, keep the head set where we're supposed to in relation to the body. I think she's been the most spot on in terms of feet and legs. Consistently has her spine in place, consistently has the right kind of touch and handle that we want to just feel in terms of not being too much, not being too little. I'm telling you, she's done a heck of a job, in my opinion. The one it comes to, similar story here. She gets just a nickel out of line. For me, we get our front feet off just a little bit. Love the way she moves that sheep. Ring presence is awesome. Incredible touch when you get there and just touch. She knows that thing's supposed to be hard and firm, but not over the top. Another extremely nice job. The one that's one-handed here does an absolutely stellar job. Just gets hung up a little moving. Hey, it's a tag teamed event. Be pretty hard to reach down and get our front feet exactly where we want them right now, the way she's working. But she beats the one behind her because she keeps her sheep moving forward in the brace. Young lady sets in 4. Incredible showman here as well. That sheep wants to rock back quite a bit of the time. When I move in, I want to see that thing just coming forward to you like you have him now, less like you've had him on the far side, but very, very good job there as well. Young lady here with the goggle-eyed one, impeccable job. I come in to touch. We got to have just a little more brace in that one, okay? A little softer sheep, not quite as much shape. Going to have to give a little more oomph when you get right in there and get to driving. But awesome job of getting that one moved. Great job there. Young lady here does an awesome job, but for me, she's got to rock the sheep back. We get that thing, you can see, and you saw me touch her loin. We don't get her rocked back. We let her drop her loin just a bit, gets a little higher tailed, takes away from our look from the side. We've got to fix that on that particular animal. I want to see you keep that loin just looking a little fresher. Young lady here's done a really nice job as well. Got right down toward the end, just took too much time. Have to get that one set faster. That thing's just a little different in terms of its spine, and you can't give that look to the judge that long. I want you to just be a little more aggressive in terms of where you're coming. Young lady next, awesome job of getting that one braced. The way she does that, I like the fact that she works the underside of that sheep as much as she works the top side. For me, we kept that lamb too wide up front a good bit of the time. He's already wide enough. We keep his front legs splayed out just a little bit, makes him look lower fronted. I wanted to keep that thing snugged in just a bit better there in terms of where we sit in the front. Young lady here, we kept that sheep rocked too far forward for me. Quite a bit of the time. You got back up there, front feet are back feet are a little overextended. That's a much better look than you gave me on that side. We need to work toward that. Young man, awesome job of getting that thing to move. You got to be more consistent in feet and leg placement. You know, I see you shaking the head a little bit, and as I tell kids, if you're moving, the sheep's moving. I think if you can get to your spot, get stuck, be comfortable, that's going to make it a little bit better for me. Young lady here rounds out all of our finalists. Very nice job. She does a great job of getting that thing braced. When you touch and come in and bounce, very good job of where she needs to be there. I thought feet and leg placement and spine height was just a little off when we got in profile. Put your hands together, just my opinion. Awesome set of kids here and your seniors. Congratulate them.
Results for senior sheep showmanship. First place goes to Ava Jenkins Hintinger of Madison. Second, Clara Elsey of Russell. Third, Emma Donnelly of Clark. Fourth, Josephine Caldwell of Rockbridge. Fifth, Sarah Poyser of Shenandoah. Sixth, Samantha Wills from Fluvanna. Seventh, Abigail Miller of Wythe. Eighth, Carly Buchanan from Augusta. Ninth, Emily Hammer of Rockingham. 10th, Bradley Cron from Augusta. And 11th, Lily Bowman from Montgomery. We'll now start our intermediate showmanship heats with Heat 1. These youth are aged 13 to 15 as of September 30th, 2025. We have Brody Sather of Louisa, Olivia Fisher from Shenandoah, London Vanderhyde of Pennsylvania, John Hale of Hanover, Liam Morris from Augusta, Shia Lerner from New Kent, Carson McLeod from Rockingham, Kylie Blevins from Washington, Lucy Williams from Essex, Addison Newland from Augusta, Caitlin Mayberry of Campbell, Ella Miller from Wythe, Elizabeth Summers from Page, Kinley Ayler from Madison, and Chloe Ayler from Madison. Heat 2, please check in. Heat 2 intermediates, please check in.
I've got me a group over. I think it's just been a little more consistent. We've got a really nice set left out here. Need to work on bracing just in terms of getting the right kind of drive out of them here in the last four, in my opinion. Um, Young lady here in two, really close call. Love the way she moves that sheep. That sheep sets back on her just a bit whenever we come in and get on the side. Want to just be more consistent in terms of our brace from the side. Nice job. Congratulate them if you will. I'll do the same.
Callbacks from our first intermediate heat. We have Olivia Fisher from Shenandoah, Kylie Blevins of Washington, Ella Miller of Wythe, and Kinley and Chloe Ayler from Madison. Entering the ring now is our second heat of intermediate showmen. We have Lindsay Davis of Frederick, Willa Price from Fauquier, Brant Kibler from Shenandoah, Madison Strassnyder of Frederick, Carly Gallahan from Orange, Stella Gibson, Louisa, Sutton Swecker of Rockingham, Sedona Sifford from Fauquier, Maddie Evers from Augusta, Susanna Paris from Pennsylvania, Colton Spangler from Floyd, Rachel DeBoer of Madison, Allison McLeod from Rockingham, Roxana Horn from Augusta, and Diesel Hit from Orange. If you're in Heat 3, please check in. Heat 3 intermediates, please check in.
Well, I got me a trio out of this particular heat. I think we've got a couple of close calls, maybe three close calls for me here that we have left out, that I've left out on this side. Um, Things that we need to change. Got to get a little better job just in terms of brace and push for about 90% of these young people out here. And then the others, I think we just have to do a little nicer job in terms of our ability to get them moved around the ring. Young lady up front does a nice job. Lets that one get a little bit out of line and just average in terms of our brace when we get on the side. Young lady second right there does an incredible job of getting that one moved. Thing's got a real nice top line in it on the move, and we get to this point here, and she overdoes our loin. Get that thing broke down and wrinkled up in her loin edge. Just totally detracts from the look and profile. Want her to change those things that she's doing. Need to work on feet leg placement, get a little nicer bracing all the way down. Young man down there at the end does a really good job bracing, not getting that thing moved at all out here. We got to get that one to get up and go. So just how I see it, got three out here finalists. We'll get them back with the rest. Let's congratulate these young people.
Callbacks from our second heat of intermediate showmen. We have Sutton Swecker of Rockingham, Sedona Sifford of Fauquier, and Maddie Evers of Augusta. Entering the ring is our third and final heat of intermediate showmen. We have Elizabeth Sheets of Augusta County, Nathan Capizella from Louisa, Hannah Cyphers from Washington, Ty McDaniel from Giles, Alyssa and Whitley Kopp from Washington County, Madison Morris of King George, Madison Vinskowski from Frederick, Braylon Jones from Clark, Quinn Roush from Frederick, Briar Swecker from Rockingham, Avery Chisholm from Bedford, Sawyer Wilkins from Rockingham, and Marcus Gomez from Gloucester. After this heat, we'll have the intermediate showmanship drive for our intermediates. So we need our callbacks from heats 1 and 2 to make their way to the ready area. Callbacks from heats 1 and 2. We want to thank everyone for their help for the sheep shows today. Today, our clerk is Cynthia Hurst, VCE Program Assistant for Pulaski County 4-H. Lining up the classes is the State Fair of Virginia Youth Meat, Goat, and Sheep Show Superintendent Emily Edwards, 4-H agent from Augusta County. In the ring, we have Dr. Scott Griner, Extension Beef and Sheep Specialist from Virginia Tech, and Philip McCroskey, Ag Educator and FFA Advisor from Abingdon High School. Special thanks to Natalie Blevins and Marnie Caldwell, State Fair of Virginia Youth Livestock Advisory Council members, for securing sponsorships and awards for the youth sheep shows. This is another reminder that all sheep weigh cards are due at 11 a.m. Please turn in all your cards, even those that are in classification. And classification of non-black-faced market lambs and commercial ewes is at 12 o'clock in the swine ring. So bring your sheep for classification to the swine ring at 12. So that's weigh cards at 11, classification at 12.
Well, once again, a very nice group. I'll encourage you young people to keep working at this and keep trying to perfect your game. I think you're doing a great job. Always room for improvement. We need to get a little better brace on most of these sheep here down. A bunch of you, when you came in, y'all kind of stayed wadded up, too close to the one in front of you. We always need to keep in mind we need a sheep worth of room between you and the one directly in front of you. Young man here does an awesome job of getting them walked. We just pull forward on the brace. Nice brace here. I want that sheep to move a little better. On down the line, probably want a little more touch and tone out of our brace compared to the ones that we pulled over on this side. If you would congratulate and encourage these young people, I'll do the same.
Callbacks for our third intermediate heat. We have Elizabeth Sheets from Augusta, Hannah Cyphers from Washington, Alyssa Kopp from Washington, Quinn Roush from Frederick, and Sawyer Wilkins from Rockingham. We'll now get everybody lined up for the intermediate showmanship drive. While we do that, we'll thank a couple of our sponsors. Today would not be possible without the State Fair of Virginia, which supports our youth livestock shows by providing this venue, covering our judges' expenses and paying out over $35,000 in cash premiums and $28,500 in earned scholarships for our exhibitors. First Bank and Trust has also provided an exhibitor t-shirt. Farm Credit of the Virginias is providing water for our exhibitors and staff for the week. General sponsors for all of our shows are Craig County Farm Bureau and Washington County Farm Bureau. Additional sponsors for sheep specifically include LT Hart Incorporated, Freedom Ag and Energy Cooperative, Powell Valley National Bank, Campbell County Farm Bureau, Farmers and Merchants Bank, First Bank and Trust, First Community Bank, Brookwood Farms, the McCoys for banners, May Valley Club Lambs, Daniel and Debbie May, Liberty Club Lambs, Reagan Babb, Umbarger Feeds, Roy Umbarger and Sons Incorporated, Wanda Ziegler, Blue Ridge Animal Clinic, Dr. Strecker, Foster Foundation, Jamar Farm Feed and Seed, Hubbard Feeds and Showright, Rockbridge Co-op, Burke Simmons, Ridgeview Contractors, Chris Sumner, Rockingham Petroleum, JBH Show Lambs, Skyline National Bank, Abingdon Equipment, NTD Trucking, Buchanan Oil, Griner Sisters, Heritage Farm Supply, Rockingham Cooperative, Beatty Club Lambs, Mountain View Farm Club Lambs, and Dominion Wood Preservers. Now for our intermediate sheep showmanship drive. From Heat 1, we have Olivia Fisher of Shenandoah, Kylie Blevins of Washington, Ella Miller of Wythe, Kinley Ayler of Madison, and Chloe Ayler of Madison. From Heat 2, Sutton Swecker from Rockingham, Sedona Sifford from Fauquier, and Maddie Evers from Augusta. And from Heat 3, Elizabeth Sheets from Augusta, Hannah Cyphers from Washington, Alyssa Kopp from Washington, Quinn Roush from Frederick, and Sawyer Wilkins from Rockingham. Juniors in Heat 1, please check in. Juniors in Heat 1, please check in. Hayden Rubush, please check in. Hayden Rubush, please check in.
Well, an incredible set of competitors here in your intermediate showman. I think the cream rises with the whole set of finalists that we have. Uh, Things that I'd like to see different with each one. Things that I think they've done exceptionally well. I think the most consistent one's just right here in the front. Feet and leg placement, appropriate brace, appropriate top line, and keeps that thing together, and then really good job of getting that thing moved and presented. Probably the most consistent in terms of pace and movement and body posture that I've seen today comes right here with the winner out of this particular group. And she had one bobble, and that was just a leg placement game, and she's been consistent ever since. Young lady here gets this one presented exceptionally well. Lets him roll over his front feet just a little far for me. I'd like to have his front feet forward just a shot more even. Young lady here has done an exceptional job. Love the way she moves that sheep. For me, she keeps his back feet uncomfortably a touch wide. I want to see him squared up a bit. We work really hard to grow the boots on these things, and when you grab the back legs, you always grab in the middle of your boots. Okay, I like the fact that these others grab them right above the boots to move those legs. You keep him just a little wide. Nobody thinks I'm any stouter here because I'm standing this wide today. I just want to wrangle him in terms of hip placement. Very, very good ring presence here. Young lady does an awesome job. She gets a lot out of this sheep. I'm going to be real honest with you. A touch pudgy, and yet when you come in and touch that thing, she's got that thing going 100 miles an hour, no doubt. She gets her rolled over her fronts a little bit. I want to rock that sheep back, get its loin back up, get its feet forward in front. Young lady here does an incredible job as well. Takes a little too much time there at the end. We had feet placement issues. Just want to see that one squared up a bit better, but let's congratulate her as well. Over on this side, struggle with getting our feet and legs where we need to have them, in my opinion. Took a little too much time. That lamb set back on you once you finally got over there. I love your presence. For me, you reached, hey, personal opinion, you reached too far across with your foot, and I can't see the clean line of that sheep. You're shortening that sheep's body, and you're shortening up her underline. Takes away from her for me. I'd like to see you just squared up. Feet and leg placement, sheep wanted to rock back just a little bit here. Feet and leg placement as well. That one's got to walk with his head back and up a little bit. If you can do that, you're right up toward the very front of this class, but that thing wants to lay his head out. Here, I just want you more consistent in feet and leg placement. Got to be a little more aggressive in terms of keeping our front feet forward on this particular sheep. We want to let her wad up just a bit underneath. Nice job of getting this one moved. He's a little jittery. Feet and leg placement. I come back over and I look, we're crossed up in front. Look again, we're crossed up in front. You got to look down as much as you look up. Let's put our hands together for all these young people. Good job, son.
Results for our intermediate sheep showmanship. First place goes to Olivia Fisher of Shenandoah. Second to Kylie Blevins of Washington. Third to Hannah Cyphers of Washington. Fourth, Kenley Ayler of Madison. Fifth, Alyssa Kopp from Washington. Sixth, Chloe Ayler from Madison. Seventh, Elizabeth Sheets from Augusta. Eighth, Ella Miller from Wythe. Ninth, Maddie Evers from Augusta. 10th, Sutton Swecker from Rockingham. 11th, Sedona Sifford from Fauquier. 12th, Quinn Roush from Frederick. And 13th, Sawyer Wilkins from Rockingham. We'll now start our first heat of juniors. Juniors are aged 9 through 12 as of September 30th, who have previously shown sheep at the state fair. We have 2 heats of juniors today. In Heat 1, we have Hayden Rubush of Augusta, Lily Poyser of Shenandoah, Gage Sather of Louisa, Kinsey Dellinger of Rockingham, Madison McLeod from Rockingham, Jamison Rivard from Fauquier, Avery Deacon from Rockbridge, Bella Gibson from Louisa, Eli Gibson from Louisa, Landon Kibler of Shenandoah, Ashton Baldwin of Culpeper, Daniel James of Madison, Chuck Connor of Nottoway, Mason Beamer of Rockingham, Sonny Sanders of Essex, and Jasper Sponagle of Highland. Heat 2 juniors, please check in. Heat 2 juniors, please check in.
Well, a nice set of juniors that we have here in this first heat. I commend them all for their work ethic. I think ring awareness is pretty good in this particular group. I want to see the bracing just a little better in terms of feet and leg placement, presentation, getting them set right, making them push into you. I tell kids all the time that bracing is pushing. And we've got some here that are doing that, but it's maybe not about how hard you push, about how good you look. So long as you keep their backs up and you get some touch and tone out of the muscle that they have, I think the group that we have that we're going to excuse on this side that doesn't make it back, predominantly as a whole, we're not getting enough brace out of these things. Young lady down in the corner is a close call for me in the reddish colored shirt. Does a very good job moving the lamb, feet and leg placement. That thing's not one to tag in and help her. Young man does a good job of getting the right kind of tone and texture and push out of that particular sheep. We've got to make it a little more presentable and practical looking from the side in terms of feet and leg placement and just getting the thing to push right up into him and get it moved around the ring just a bit better as well. I've got me 5 finalists that are going to come back out of this grouping. If you would, put your hands together for them.
Callbacks from our first heat of juniors. We have Lily Poyser of Shenandoah, Avery Deacon of Rockbridge, Ashton Baldwin of Culpeper, Daniel James from Madison, and Mason Beamer from Rockingham. Entering the ring now is our second group of juniors. We have Charlotte Bowman from Montgomery, Evelyn Dudding from Craig, Carolyn Babb from Virginia Beach, Torin Jones from Clark, Connor Spangler from Floyd, Bowen Evers from Augusta, Heidi Rubush from Augusta, John Earhart from Augusta, Sadie Ann Osborne from Smith, Mackenzie Baldwin from Culpeper, Maiden Sprouse from Giles, Olivia Chisholm from Bedford, and Clue Sponoggle from Highland.
Well, I grabbed a few extra out of here, as you see, and one thing I always thought was uh, really inadequate of a judge is to not get all of them that have a chance to get up there and work their way up. I think we've got an exceptional group here. I can tell you, in our entire world, if everyone put as much effort into what they're doing as these young people in this particular heat, be a lot better place. I really appreciate their work ethic and the effort that they put in. I've made some close calls to get the group that I have, and I have more standing as finalists than I do here that we're going to excuse out of this particular group. Young man down there next to last is a close call for me. I want him to be a little more consistent just in how we get braced. We let our head and neck come a little far forward, but he does a nice job. All these kids are doing a very good job. In that last heat, I encouraged that young man. I said, you got to keep trying. Don't get discouraged. Frankly, if you've never had a bad game, you haven't played many games. And I want you to think about that. We hinge our whole show career in our mind. The most important thing you've ever done is probably what you're doing right now. And that's how I look at judging, evaluating kids in showmanship or judging livestock. What we're doing right now in the moment is what is and should be the most important to us. But the reality is there's a big journey coming to this point. There's a big journey past this point. I don't want you to get too discouraged because you didn't make it where you wanted to be. Set your goals. Set them high enough you have to stretch. I always set a few I could never attain, but I had a good friend one time that said, hey, if you've never thought about quitting, you're not stretching a goal out there far enough. It's not hard enough for you to attain. So I want you to think about that. Encourage these young people if you would. They've done an outstanding job. We're going to excuse the line there profile. We're going to bring all these youngsters back plus that first set. Put your hands together for them.
Returning from our second heat of juniors, we have Charlotte Bowman of Montgomery, Evelyn Dudding from Craig, Caroline Babb from Virginia Beach, Torin Jones from Clark, Sadie Ann Osborne of Smith, Mackenzie Baldwin of Culpeper, and Olivia Chisholm from Bedford. Entering our ring now is our Junior Sheep Showmanship Drive. From Heat 1, we have Lily Poisner from Shenandoah, Avery Deacon from Rockbridge, Ashton Baldwin of Culpeper, Daniel James from Madison, Mason Beamer of Rockingham. From Heat 2, we have Charlotte Bowman from Montgomery, Evelyn Dudding from Craig, Caroline Babb from Virginia Beach, Torrin Jones from Clark, Sadie Ann Osborne from Smith, Mackenzie Baldwin of Culpeper, and Olivia Chisholm from Bedford. Novice sheep exhibitors, please check in. This is your 15-minute call for weigh cards. Weigh cards are due at 11 a.m. Please turn those in at 11. You've got 15 minutes to get all sheep weigh cards in, including those for classification. Classification for non-black-faced market lambs and commercial ewes is at 12 o'clock in the swine ring. Please bring your sheep to the swine ring at 12 o'clock. Weigh cards are due in 15 minutes. Classification is at 12 o'clock. And just like yesterday, we have a Master Showmanship program and Supreme Showmanship program. A Master Showman in reserve, as well as third and fourth overall for sheep, will be selected by our judge today from the champion and reserve age division winners. So our champion and reserve from novice, intermediate, junior, and senior will all be pulled back for our Master Showman. They will represent the sheep division on Saturday afternoon in the Supreme Showmanship competition, where they will compete against the Master Showman winners from the other 3 species. Each of these contestants will show all 4 species and then be ranked, and the champion reserve third and fourth overall Supreme will be chosen. These results will be announced on Saturday evening at the Sale of Champions. Thanks to the support of the State Fair of Virginia and Virginia Farm Bureau, our Master Showman and Supreme Showmanship contestants vie for $2,100 in cash and $4,200 in scholarships.
Well, pound for pound, no doubt, number of years doing it, most competitive group that we've had in any particular age class comes right here with this particular grouping. Incredible set of young people, awesome set of sheep showmen, incredible work ethic. Tell you the things I see and why I rank them the way I do. I think the young lady here is awful quick to get hers looking awful good most of the time. She does a very consistent job on the brace. She keeps the eye socket in the center of the shoulder. She does her very best, I think, competitively to keep the feet square, proper width of cage up front, width of hip in back. For me, I think the most consistent and the one that does the nicest job combining that with movement here in this particular grouping. The 1 and 2, great job of getting that thing propped up. I love her body posture, the way she stands up tall in front of that sheep. For me, every time I go to the front, he's too wide up front. He's standing out of his skeleton. I want to see him stand just a tick narrower. In comparison to the young lady that goes out, you don't get enough brace out of that particular sheep. You stand up and look good, but I want you to put a little more pressure in the front of that lamb. Young lady here does an awesome job with this blue sheep of getting the brace, the texture and tone of muscle and shape. I love the way she keeps that one's head and neck on the brace set where it's supposed to be. Issue for me is when we move that lamb, we let the neck and head come out further forward. We don't cast as good an image and silhouette from the side on the move that we'd like to see as you do when we stand here in brace profile. She keeps the front feet better in terms of where it sets in relation to shoulder line to the 1 and 4. Young lady in 4 can get a little lazy in terms of where front feet placement is. You get complacent with the fact that you're standing up, that ewe lamb's not moving and you're not moving. The reality is once she rolls out over her feet, we shorten her up in terms of her underline. She doesn't stand as tall up front. I want you to pull front feet forward. Young lady comes next, extremely natural in what she does. Couldn't get our lamb wrangled in over here. And as I said before, it's a tag team event. Your partner's got to tag in with you. You know, I tried to walk right side. I tried to walk straight up the back. I tried to walk on the left. He just wasn't having any of it. In terms of getting them profiled up, she does an incredible job. When I come in and touch, we're not getting quite enough push out of that particular sheep, in my opinion. Come around the corner, outstanding set of kiddos here. I think feet and leg placement probably for me gets us down to right here. You've got to get more brace, okay? You make it look good, but I come in and touch and we don't have enough bounce. We want to keep our legs get a little bit off here and we kind of push low, and I'm sure you've been taught to do that, and that's your size. But we have to keep that thing bracing out of his hock and not out of his front end. As we come down here, feet and leg placement for me, we let the one the young lady here, let that one roll over his front feet. Young man here, a little similar story, but awful good exhibitors. Like I said, for me, the most competitive set top to bottom. Put your hands together. Congratulate them.
Results for our junior sheep showmanship drive. First place goes to Mackenzie Baldwin of Culpeper. Second, Avery Deacon of Rockbridge. Third, Caroline Babb, Virginia Beach. Fourth, Mason Beamer of Rockingham. Fifth, Lily Poisner of Shenandoah. Sixth, Evelyn Dudding of Craig. Seventh, Olivia Chisholm of Bedford. Eighth, Sadie Ann Osborne of Smith. Ninth, Charlotte Bowman of Montgomery. 10th, Daniel James of Madison. 11th, Ashton Baldwin of Culpeper. And 12th, Torrin Jones of Clark. We have one class of novice exhibitors today. They are age 9 through 12 who have never shown at the sheep show at the State Fair of Virginia. That's Colt Bear of Fauquier, Lilia Foltz of Page, Leighton Lilly of Rockbridge, Selma Gomez of Gloucester, Parker Baker of Clark, Landon McLeod from Rockingham, Spencer Bear from Fauquier, Alice Poisner of Shenandoah, Bo Earhart of Augusta, William Morris, King George, Brooklyn Bagoon from Augusta, Abigail James from Madison, and Scarlett Beasley from Caroline. You need our champion in reserve senior, intermediate, and junior winners. Champion in reserve in the ready area for our master sheep showmanship drive. This is your 3-minute call for weight cards. It is 10:57. Make sure your weight cards are in by 11 o'clock. And classification will be in the swine ring at 12. The official photographer for this weekend is Mandy Rooker Photography. To access those pictures that are being taken and uploaded throughout the weekend, go to mandyrooker.smugmug.com.
Well, a great group of young people and novice exhibitors. I thought there was a natural selection with the pair that comes to the front of the class, just in terms of brace, in terms of the ability to get some press out of them. And for me, without question, I think the young man does the nicest job, just all in all, in terms of feet and leg placement, staying in front, keeping some pressure, does a really nice job of moving that sheep. All of us can use a little work on where our feet and leg placement is out here, and that's just important and critical. But I think he does the best job kind of getting them where they're supposed to be, working at it, keeping their top down, keeping some pressure up front. I think his ability to get that one moved and presented there in profile sets him apart here at the front of our class. Young lady comes in too, similar story. She gets the back feet just a bit off for me. I want her to do a little more low down checking and keeping that thing a little more square, but she does a nice job up here. Better job of getting into that sheep as I approach and touch him. Young man here is really good in terms of his awareness, his presence, his body posture. When I got him sorted down to 3, he kind of fell out, and I thought he was a little more aggressive than that. This is one of those sheep you're probably going to have to do just a little more work and intensity work up front on the front end in terms of getting a brace, but a nice job here. Young lady here with our ewe lamb does a very good job. When we walk, that sheep gets a little lazy, gets his head down a little bit. Just have to keep it in terms of keeping it woke up a little bit in our movement pattern. When I come around and handle, you're going to have to brace just a little bit harder to get more pressure. One thing for sure, this one can get them braced in terms of getting something out of the top of that sheep. Get a little plainer in terms of where we set our legs, feet and legs, get a little more average in how we let that one lay out up front in terms of where our neck placement is in relation to our shoulder. Young man over here does a really nice job, doesn't get enough pressure. Young lady here did a really nice job of bracing early, gets a little more average the further we go. Feet and leg placement, feet and leg placement, feet and leg placement, and pressure for me on this blue sheep. Once we get up front, we got to go ahead and get something into them. Here we've got feet and leg placement. I have to have you look down and realize that we don't have them where we need to be. Right here, round out this particular grouping. Young lady does a nice job. Got to get her head back, have to get more pressure on that particular sheep. So nice job out here. Congratulate all these novice showmen, if you will.
Results for our novice class. First place goes to Landon McLeod from Rockingham. Second, Brooklyn Bagoon from Augusta. Third, Leighton Lilly from Rockbridge. Fourth, Abigail James from Madison. Fifth, Alice Poisner of Shenandoah. Sixth, William Morris of King George. Seventh, Scarlett Beasley of Caroline. Eighth, Bo Earhart of Augusta. Ninth, Parker Baker from Clark. 10th, Spencer Bear from Fauquier. 11th, Lilia Foltz from Page. And 12th, Colt Bear from Fauquier. 13th, Selma Gomez from Gloucester. While they're lining up our Master Sheep Showmanship drive, we do want to make the announcement that the Market Goat Show will start at 12 o'clock today. So Market Goat Show will start at 12 o'clock. We'll now have all of our champion and reserves come back for our Master Showmanship drive. From the senior division champion, we have Ava Hettinger. From intermediates, Olivia Fisher. From juniors, Mackenzie Baldwin. And from novice, Landon McLeod. Our reserve champion in the seniors was Clara Elsey. Reserve in intermediates, Kylie Blevins. Reserve in juniors, Avery Deacon. And in our novice, Brooklyn Bagoon. Again, we want to thank our judge for the sheep shows this weekend, Mr. Glenn Martin out of Mason, Texas. Glenn grew up in Mason, where his family roots go back to the 1860s. He attended Texas A&M and was an accomplished collegiate meats and livestock evaluator. Glenn is married to Ray Ann, and they've raised 4 daughters through the ranching lifestyle. The Martin family raises competitive show goats, cattle, and Dorper sheep. Glenn's always into promoting agriculture and educating others about the animal industry. And again, let's thank Mr. Glenn Martin for judging our sheep shows this weekend at the State Fair of Virginia.
Well, enjoyed myself working with your young people this morning and evaluating showmanship amongst your lamb exhibitors. They've done a very, very good job. Incredible set of kids. Talked them and what I see and saw and kind of where I put my emphasis. We have to move them well. We've got to brace them well. We've got to know where our fault line is and where we have things we need to change, and we have to appropriately adjust ourselves. And you know, a lot of times, in my opinion, the best showman isn't showing the best sheep. The best showman isn't showing the easiest sheep to show. It's real easy to look good on one that's automatic, but you know, ultimately, from a showmanship standpoint, where I draw the line and what I'm looking for is, who do I want showing my kid's lamb when they're unable to go to the ring with their own? And I challenge you with that, and I want you to think about that. I want the kid that can handle the lamb that balks, the kid that can handle the lamb that wants to get away, the kid that can handle the lamb that wants to overdrive, the young person that can handle the lamb that wants to set back and make that sheep look the best that they possibly can. And so the one that you want your kid taking to the ring when your kid is not able to make it in the ring with that animal, that's the ultimate for me. And which one is that? And I tell you, we've got a set of young people out here that I think are exceptional at what they're doing. They get them set right. They get them moved right. They make them attractive. They know where they need to change their animal, and they're working to make that part of their animal look better. I've often said I'd take a great showman over a great animal any day, because you've seen if you're like me, you've seen the best one, not the best one in the show not win the show, and the issue was they never did get shown. And so I challenge you with that. A good sheep and a great showman is oftentimes better than a great sheep and an average showman, and most always better than a great sheep and a poor showman. So here we sit, got real good quality, personal preference and issues, and where they stand and body posture and how they keep their top lines. We pick a top 4. And so out of these, we're going to get 4 in order the way I like them. If you would, for all of the young people that exhibited sheep and showmanship, and for all these young people in the ring that make it back, let them hear it. 'cause that's what we're doing this for, is for them. Also, during one of those breaks, if you noticed, and you can see the signs in the ring, we have a bunch of sponsors that make a show like this possible. Okay? If you don't keep your gratitude higher than your expectations, you won't have very good days. Those people make this possible. You read those signs, you know who they are. Make sure you say a thank you. If it's a business, say a thank you with your business with them, and let them know how much you appreciate them supporting your young people and making your state fair very possible. I appreciate all the folks that have worked in the ring, Dr. Scott, his crew, everybody that's outside getting everything done. Ladies at the desk up here, well, put your hands together for all them as well, and we'll get a top 4.
Champion will come from the senior division, Ava Hittinger. Your overall reserve comes from your intermediates, Olivia Fisher. Third overall comes from our senior division, Clara Elsey. And fourth overall comes from intermediates, Kylie Blevins. Congratulations. Again, we will start the Market Goat Show at 12 o'clock. Market Goat Show is next at 12 o'clock. Classification of all non-blackface commercial ewes and market lambs will be 12 o'clock, also in the swine ring. Bring your lambs for classification.